rounds left, isn't there? Like 3 or 4 rounds left in the regular season for League One.
Yeah.
So a win for either of these teams, I think, will cement their place in that top push.
Fantastic. NRL Brit picks. What are we getting out of bed for this week?
Eels against Bulldogs. You're not getting out of bed for it because it's Thursday at 10:50. You're missing work for it.
Right.
Titans versus Dragons Friday 9 a.m. Raiders versus Cowboys Saturday 10:30, and then probably Joe Wardle won't play for the Knights against the West Tigers Sunday 5 a.m. But you can give that a shout if you want. Rabbitohs versus the Panthers on Sunday at 7 a.m.
Fantastic. Well, that is your Super League pod for the week. All that remains for us to do now is wrap up the show. Okay, we're staggering towards the end of the show. I feel a lot better this week than I did last week in terms of heading into the quiz. Not necessarily in terms of confidence in my own ability, but certainly in terms of being able to keep my temper a little bit more under control. What have you got for us this week, Mark?
Well, it's Castleford and Bradford players. That's promised. Something for you and Rob.
Oh, brill.
So, there are 5 current Castleford players who have at some time in their career played for Bradford.
Right.
And there is 1 current Bradford player who has previously played for Castleford. This is by my reckonings. Ooh. So if Bradford have had loads of other weird deals going on that I don't know about.
Right.
But I don't think there is. So that's 6 players to name. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to give you any clues. I'm just going to give you 10 guesses to name all 6 players.
To name all 6 players. So it's 5 at Castleford that are ex-Bradford players.
Yep.
And it's 1 at Bradford who is okay. So
spell it out. Delay time.
I'm working it through my head. Right, Kevin Leroy.
Yeah, 1 for 1.
Okay, Luke Gale.
2 for 2.
It's going to start falling apart now. Andy Lynch.
3 for 3.
Okay. Right.
I should have done I should draw like a hang.
Oh, I'm not going to get his name, but that young kid that signed for Castleford in the off season from us when we were bust. I'm not going to get his name, so you have to tell me.
No, you'll have to keep going. You might remember it later.
Might stumble onto it. Okay.
If we get to it, I'll give you a clue for that young player.
Okay. Right, so that's 3 out of 6. I'm at half marks. Okay. Fucking grandma play for it. Current Castleford players.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, Shannon hasn't played for it.
Hold on. Is that a guess?
No, I'm talking to myself.
Sounded like a guess to me.
No, it's a statement. Mick Shenton hasn't played for us. It's a statement, not a guess. And there's no question.
All right, yeah, whatever.
You prick. Right, fucking don't. I aren't the fucking one. Don't start. Right, right. Greg Dean didn't play for us.
You can't just go through them all.
Of course I can. That's precisely what I'm doing. I'm just doing it out loud. What do you do? Do you want a minute and a half of silence while I do it in my head?
I want you to make some fucking guesses.
I'm making some guesses. Okay. I'm done at this point, mate. Go on. Who are the other 3?
No. Right. Hold on. Make some guesses. And you haven't named the Bradford player who's previously been a Castleford player at this stage.
Oh, is that not Kevin Leroy?
No, Kevin Leroy played for Bradford this season.
Oh, of course, he's back there now. Oh, right. Oh, God. Okay. The Bradford player who's previously played for Castleford.
He's actually played for Castleford in 2 spells.
Right.
Maybe 3. Definitely.
Bloody hell, fire. It's not Scotty Moore, is it?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
4 for 4.
Scotty Moore.
Now,
4 out of 4.
The young player shares his initials with someone we've spoken about a lot in this show.
Jonathan Thurston.
Yeah.
JT. What was his name, that kid? Oh, it isn't. It definitely isn't going to come. And we'll come back to it at the end. So go on, let's talk about the other guy.
The other guy, you should know. He came through at Bradford. He is probably going to be nominated for one of the Super League Pod awards at the end of this season.
Which award?
Underrated.
Most underrated. Oh, fucking hell. Is Ollie Holmes one of ours?
Nope.
Nathan Massey?
No.
No? Then I don't know.
That's 2 guesses gone, isn't it?
That is 2 guesses gone. Right, go on then. How many have I got left?
You have 4 guesses left.
4 guesses left. I've got no idea where to start. Adam Milner.
Nope.
Right. I'm just naming cast players now because I don't know what I'm doing. Gavin Springer. No.
Well, what are you doing?
Oh, Jai Hitchcocks. Was he with us at any point?
No.
Right. I've got 1 guess left.
You've got 1 guess left.
Ooh. I don't know.
So one's like right near the start of the career, as we know, and one's much closer to the end of their career.
Well, I said Andy Lynch. It's not him, is it?
No, you've done him.
Fucking hell, this is tricky. I bet Fat Boy was screaming at his fucking phone at this point.
Trying to remember the name of the young...
Yeah, well, no, he probably knows him. He's a good player. Fucking hell, Mark.
1 guess left, so you can't win it anyway.
No, I know I can't win it. I've already won it. I've got over half marks. So sometimes I target every week. Everything else at this point is gravy.
The former Bradford players. This guy probably played in one of the trophy-winning seasons.
Oh my
God. Well, definitely played in one of the trophy-winning sides.
It's not Andy Lynch.
I would say he made his debut in a trophy-winning, certainly in the trophy-winning period.
Oh, just tell me. Go on.
Right. No, wait, one more guess.
Oh, fine. Zach Hardacre. Let's just get through it.
So the young player.
Yeah, go on. What's he called?
Jacob Truman.
Thank you. Yes, Jacob Truman.
And the player you didn't get.
Go on.
Matt Cook.
Matt Cook. Fucking hell, yeah, he's very under the radar, isn't he? Fair play. Oh, well, I'll take that. That's okay. 4 out of 10. That was enjoyable. That was good fun. Except for the bit where it was clear I didn't know it was Matt Cook. I started to go through all my guesses. I had to say shit like, did Zach Hardacre play for us?
But what if you
stumbled over Matt Cook? Matt Cook would walk through that front door, headbutt me Zinedine Zidane style, and say, "Hi Tom, my name's Matt Cook," and I'd still have to go, "Who was that?" So probably not.
Do you not remember him playing for the Bulls?
Oh, sort of very vague, but dim and distantly though. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Right. In the words of Stained, it's been a while, mate.
Let's have a look at his Bradford career to see if he did win any trophies with you, or was in any of those trophy-winning squads. Anyway.
Possibly so. Well, whilst you're doing that, do you have any recommendations that you can talk to us about? Because I don't really have anything this week. Nothing's happened to me that I particularly want to recommend. Tell you what, I want to disrecommend getting hung up by hooks. Talking to some people who are into piercings obviously this weekend because that's what goes on at piercing shops, right? And one guy was telling me about he went to this retreat where piercers all come together, and this girl was like putting hooks through people's backs and then like stringing them up and then lowering them down for apparently shits and giggles.
Seen it on Carl Pilkington on one of his journeys.
He
made his Super League debut in 2005, so that was in 2006. Cook started the season with a 30-10 victory over National Rugby League premiers West Tigers in the 2006 World Club Challenge.
A World Championship ring.
There you go.
But he hasn't won where it's important, and that is in making an impression with me.
No.
There you go. Have you got any recommendations for us this week, Mark?
Well, not really. There are a few sets at Glastonbury that I picked up on and watched bits of.
Cool.
But Royal Blood, all this hype that's going on, I buy into it.
Good,
I think they're really good. Yeah. So I watched a bit of their set. The Killers set was really good. That was a greatest hits set. Their special guest appearance than John Peel 10. That was mental. I'd recommend, if you like them at all, I'd recommend watching that on the iPlayer or something because it was really enjoyable.
Right. There's always the law of diminishing returns for me with Killers.
Yeah, but they played a lot of first and second album stuff, so the stuff that we all liked when we used to go out and drink and dance back in those days. 2004,
before we were too old to do it anymore.
But the Killers conversation leads me to a podcast that I started listening to, which is, I think it's about 3 or 4 episodes in, and it's called The Throwback Pod.
Right.
And it's a guy who does one of the NFL podcasts that I listen to. Mm-hmm. But basically, him and his mate from high school, they're still friends now, and they listen to albums from their sort of younger days and discuss through what they made of them at the time, why they were important to them at the time, what they think of them now looking back all these years later, how connected they stay to the artist, that sort of, with a few jokes and anecdotes and that sort of stuff thrown in along the way. They did Shower of Shite of Be Here Now was the first episode. That was a funny episode. Second episode was Hot Fuss by The Killers, and it just reminded you of like how the first half of that album was just absolute banger after banger.
My favourite track off that, Andy You're a Star. Love it.
That was the start of the second half of the album. Now they were saying like that's their least favourite song.
Right.
It sort of switched the album off. I don't think it necessarily is that bad because there's still a couple of songs after that that are good. But that was a great debut sort of, I don't know, like pop rock kind of album. That, and then the third episode is the sort of dark album from Weezer, Pinkerton.
Oh right.
So they're all that's quite good. And you know how me and Emma have been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer recently. Well, I stumbled across a podcast called Buffering the Vampire Slayer, and it's this these two lasses, this couple, who one of them was massively into Buffy when she was little, and the other one has sort of been brought into loving Buffy
right
now that they're like a
proxy,
couple and live together, and the one that loves it so much has sort of worn her down and made her watch it, and now she's grown to love it too. And then they're talking through every single episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, one per week. I think they're up to about the mid to end point of series 2 of the show. But yeah, if you're into Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I'd recommend that. They are actually, I've only listened to 2 episodes so far, and they're actually really quite funny.
They're good.
Yeah,
cool.
But it wouldn't be hold any interest to you. But I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Cool, that's fine, no problem at all. Good stuff. Well, there you go. We've come to the end of it, aren't we? We're getting near to 150 now, aren't we?
We are. What's going to? Where's it going to land? Episode 150. What's coming up in the sort of scheme of the game? So next weekend will be 149. That'll be after the games we talked about this week. So it'll be round 21 of Super League's fixtures that we'll be reviewing.
Yep.
So there'll be no real time for any sort of celebration stuff.
No, we'll acknowledge it.
150.
150 is all right. 200 is the next big one, really.
The week after that,
it's like midway next season.
Round 22 of Super League. I'm away. Monday to Friday, but we could do a Sunday show if you're up for that, potentially, hypothetically.
I'm certainly up for it if I'm child free.
Yeah. Well, no, Sunday night recording.
Oh, bollocks, yes.
Yeah. We just might not have all the stats, and then it'll be around 23. Then Challenge Cup semi-final weekend. Scope for an Ask SLP at that stage.
That looks like being a good one.
Yeah.
Good time to do it.
Rather than being able to fit it, like crowbar something into a...
Oh, yeah. Well, there's no point in doing a 45-minute episode when 3 weeks previously we did an hour, 4-hour and 45-minute episode. We might as well put Ask SLP in at the semi-final.
There you go.
Superb, great planning. How do people get in touch with us?
I had an idea.
Fuck me.
I had an idea for off-season podcasts based on these 2 podcasts that I just talked about before.
Right.
You know, and I think other people have sort of talked about us doing this in the past. But we watch classic games,
right,
and talk about either what we remember of the players in the game or the game itself, if we remember the game itself, or what have you. Like, people could even maybe suggest a game for us to watch if we kept it going, you know, over the years.
Well, we could do that intermittently and just release that under the Super Pod banner as like another thing that we do, couldn't we?
That'd
be interesting.
That'd be an idea. So, like...
well, we could start with the greatest ever comeback in a playoff game, couldn't we?
Well, if Wigan TV has that on the thing or it's on YouTube somewhere, then yeah. Or we could start with maybe your grand final win over us, something
2002?
like that.
2001?
Yeah.
That'd be good. It's a good little idea. Let's talk about it. Yeah, so what would we do? Listen to it and watch the game and just record us talking about it?
Yeah, and then maybe we'd have to...
Because people could then sit down, watch the game, and listen to us talk over it. They could have it on silent on like YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, we could maybe even set up a second recording of it and use a different editing app, the one we normally where we can play 2 tracks, and bring in the sound for bits where we go quiet.
Yeah.
So you can hear the commentary to sense where we are. That'd be technical shit that I'd have to figure out more how to do better than I currently know how to do that sort of stuff. But
that is a cool little idea.
It's an idea.
Absolutely. But before that, how can we get in touch with us to talk to us about the Super League Pod and all the rugby league that they've been watching?
Well, at Super League Pod is our Twitter handle, facebook.com/